Here with Lake City Tigers senior Mitch Marine. Mitch, first off, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Mitch, you've been on the team for 4 years, starter for 3, three-time HVL champions, won a playoff game every year, tons of success. By any metric you can measure, you're one of the greatest players in Tiger history. What has been your favorite part of that journey, or just something that something that sticks out for you?
I would definitely have to say the three-peat this year that we got. Especially this year, we weren't expected to win. Like the past year, we were kind of the favorite team. But going into this year, we were underdogs throughout the whole year. And then winning the HVL really proved everyone wrong, and I really enjoyed that.
I wouldn't expect anyone who's a competitor not to. But second question for you is, coming into this year, lost a lot from last year, 10 seniors gone. You're the only returning starter. How you were obviously asked by coach to take on more of a leadership role this year. How do you think you performed in that? How'd you get yourself ready for that?
I think I got ready by just accepting the role, knowing that I'd have to step up a lot more this year. Offensively, defensively, vocally, we lost a lot of leaders last year. So just knowing that losing all those guys, we definitely have to step up. And I knew that we were going to be a very young team, a lot of inexperience, but I knew as the year went on, everyone would get used to it, and it's definitely worked out so far. So I think we're doing well, so that's it.
Mitch, who is your favorite opponent to play against over the years?
I would have to say Rochester Lourdes, because it's always a great rival, and I love playing at their gym too. So,
kind of a good segue into our next question. What is your favorite place to play?
Does the Male Civic Center count? I would have to say the Male Civic Center, because it's a great atmosphere, and I've always loved playing there.
Auditorium or arena?
Well, I only played in the auditorium once for playoffs, but it was probably the best game I've ever played in, so I'd probably have to go with the auditorium.
It's the greatest basketball arena in Minnesota, there's no question about it. Finally, Mitch, my lasting memory of you as a Tiger basketball player was in elementary school. You played at halftime, and I remember watching you thinking, geez, this guy, he's going to be pretty good someday. And it ended up turning out to be true. What's your favorite memory of Tiger basketball?
I would have to say, again, the three-peat, just because proving everyone wrong again. And I thought that's always been a great accomplishment for us, and just dominating the last couple of years. I've really enjoyed playing with a bunch of great guys. And Coach Berg, I've always loved playing for him, so it's always been just good, overall great time playing for Lake City.
All right. Well, it's been a great time watching it, too. We wish you the best, and good luck in the playoffs. Thanks for joining us tonight, Mitch.
Thanks for having me.
Greg Kennedy here with Nate Hasso, Tiger Senior. First off, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Nate, you are one of the most energetic players I have ever seen in my 11 years doing Tiger basketball games. You get the guys fired up on the bench. Timeout, you're usually the first one out at center court to greet them. How do you get yourself jacked up for the games like that?
I don't know. Coach in the beginning of the season told me I needed to be that energy giver, and I guess I've been called an Energizer Bunny from multiple coaches, and so I try to get pumped up as much as I can. It just comes naturally, I guess. I'm always full of energy.
All right. You're also one of the most popular players I've seen amongst fans and players in Tiger history. Can you explain that? I'm guessing, it eludes you, but what do you think the reason behind that is?
I really can't say, all honesty. It first kind of started as a joke, and kind of just, I think, started as a joke and kind of just went overboard, and everyone started enjoying it and thought it was fun and funny. And I know some of my friends said because I'm a senior, they'd wish I'd play more, which that's okay. I don't mind the playing time. I'm perfectly fine on the bench. And they just like to see when I go out, and they think it's cool whenever I go out.
They sure get fired up about it.
Yeah, it's funny.
All right. over the years, who's been your favorite opponent to play against?
My favorite opponent has to be Cannon Falls. I like Cannon Falls. I have a couple friends from there that I know. Been a good rival since 7th grade.
They are pretty interesting games usually.
Yeah, they are.
And where is your favorite place to play?
Oh, by far, Lake City. I feel like we have one of the better courts and gym setups out there. And it's always fun to play home. And with our home crowd, we have great fans. It's always just a great atmosphere to be in.
One of the few places I know that has permanent seating and fold-up seating, and it's always very nice and bright in the Lake City gym, too.
It's always packed, too. It's very nice.
Lastly, I think my lasting memory of you as a Tiger basketball player is just the constant grinder, the always, never taking a play off. You're always out there fighting, win or lose. That's what'll stick with me. What is the lasting memory you have of being a Lake City Tiger?
I think one of my lasting memories, one of my favorite memories, is probably the night all the student sections decided to have a hostel night theme, and they all dressed up with hostel apparel. Some guys had my face on them, my jersey number, my name, and it was a fun night. It was kind of funny. I enjoyed it.
It was definitely a lot of fun for the neutral observers as well. Well, Nate, thanks for joining us tonight, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Basketball team. Trent, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Trent, coaches told me he really thought you adapted to your role well this year, and you're usually one of the first guys off the bench. And some cases, like just as recently as Saturday night, maybe a guy goes down, you might ask to be taken on a larger role. How do you prepare for that as on a game-by-game basis?
Just by having a strong mental focus on every game, know your role. Every game's gonna be different. Not every game's the same, and just by going in, playing my hardest, and doing my role, just accept it. So I think.
All right, Trent, you've been a part of two pretty successful teams the last 2 years, back-to-back HVL champions, back-to-back actually. But what has been the most fun part of being, involved in those teams?
Well, obviously, besides the winning, just a group of guys around have been very fun to be around, and they're very energetic, upbeat, very positive, and it's been just a fun time hanging around. Great experience being with them as well, and they all have great pointers as well to help you out with your game, each and every game and every day in practice.
All right. Trent, who is your favorite opponent to play against?
Always has been and always will be against the good U boys.
All right. Well, you had to enjoy Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, that was a fun time. I mean, for them it's a hard loss, but always love playing with the good U boys. Pretty close to them, so I know a lot of them. So it's always fun to play against them.
That's a tough loss for them, but they'll be okay. So, where's your favorite place to play and why?
Besides here, or can I say here?
Here, you can say here.
I'd easily say here. We have possibly one of the best student sections, I'd say, in my opinion, and one of the cleanest gyms around as well. It's always been a blast playing here, and always a lot of wins too. Like
I just said to Nate, he had the same answer. It's not very many places have permanent seating for people, and it's always really bright in the Lake City gym, and I think that's great. And as he pointed out, always packed too. Trent, I've been doing this for a while. You see guys come up through the system. In my opinion, my lasting, when I look back at you, I think, God, I remember watching him in 9th grade, and now I'm interviewing him here on senior day. It just goes so fast sometimes. What has been your favorite moment as a Lake City Tiger?
My favorite moment? It's got to be just success as a team, the three-peat as HVL champs, and just a great experience. And Mr. Berg, Coach Berg, bringing us to Hoo-Hut after all the HVL champs and the division champion. That's just a blast going there too.
Well, Trent, good luck the rest of the way, and thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Thank you for having me, Greg.
All right. with Tigers head coach Greg Berg for our senior interviews tonight. Coach, what can you say about this group of seniors?
Well, this senior group has been a part of a lot of success the last 3 years. Won 3 conference titles back to back to back, and they've been key contributors in different ways in all 3 of those. So it's a group that has a lot of heart, very competitive, good team spirit, and it really represented Lake City Tiger basketball in our community and school very, very well.
All right, it's a little bit easier this year when there's just 3 of them as opposed to like 10 last year, but what were your expectations for each of those guys as we headed into this 2016-2017 season?
Well, when you have a team, everyone has a role, and the roles are different for each and every person. A kid like Mitch Marine, who is a 4-year varsity player and 3-year starter, his expectations for leadership and what we do on the court are very big for us. And Mitch has had a phenomenal season. He's been a great leader for us all year, and he's really the catalyst for this 3rd conference title. Losing 10 seniors, I know a lot of people thought that we probably middle of the pack and not really where we're at, but I knew we had guys like Mitch and Mark coming back, and I knew we had some young talent to blend with them, and I really liked our chances. But Mitch has really been a leader, and he's such a fierce competitor, and that's probably the best way to describe Mitch. Trent Meyer is a key guy off the bench for us this year. He didn't get a lot of minutes last year. He's a very athletic kid, and Trent's role was to come in and kind of give us energy and give us an offensive presence. He's a hard cutter. He's really improved and become a better defensive player, and Trent's come in and had a valuable role for us all year. It really has given us depth, knowing that in any game, if someone gets in foul trouble or someone isn't playing well or tired or sick or whatever it may be, that we got a guy like Trent who athletically can come in and give us that same type of athleticism. Then you got a kid like Nate Hasso who doesn't get on the court a whole lot, but you couldn't ask for a better team player and a better leader from the role of a bench guy and a scout team guy. Brings positive energy each and every day to practice. That's such an important part of a team, is when you have guys that know their role, accept their role, make the team better, bring positive energy each and every day. And that energy feeds off on the rest of the team. And so Haas has been a great leader all year for us as well. And, all 3 of those guys are going to be missed for different reasons.
All right. A lot of success with the group. All the guys have been... They were very gracious with their time tonight, and I usually ask them to conclude what their favorite memory of being a Tiger basketball player is, so I'll ask you what your favorite memory of each of them is.
Favorite memory of each of them? Well, that puts me on the spot. When I think of each player, when I think of Nate Hasso, I just think of him just getting our bench going in games, getting the towel going, just getting the fans going, getting our team going. I mean, I think of him that way, and I think of him just bringing positive spirit and energy to each and every practice. When I think of Trent, I think of an athlete. I think of a kid who is one of the more athletic kids on our team, who's got very good skills, who's been in the program since he's been young, and he's just an athlete, and he does some things on the court because of that athleticism that not everybody can do. And then I think of Mitch, and I just think of a fierce competitor. I don't know if I've coached a kid that's more competitive than Mitch. The kid hates to lose. He's got a motor that goes forever, and he's leaving this school playing more varsity games than any player in the history of the program. And for a kid who stands 5'5", to play more varsity games than anyone in this program, it says a lot about his heart and his character and his competitiveness.
All right. Good stuff, Coach. Once again, thanks for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, Greg.